Hey everyone, this video I'm just going to show you how tone control works on a guitar pedal. There are a million types of tone controls, this is just one of them. This is an input tone control and it's very simple to understand, so yeah, let's start with this one. So if you take the Rangemaster for instance, it has a 5 nanofarad capacitor on the input. That's very small. The sort of standard is 100 nanofarad. It allows all your guitar frequencies to come through, but sort of cuts out a bit of the really low end stuff that you don't want, that makes your guitar sound a bit muddy. So it's usually a good value to go by. This tone control basically just blends the trebliness of the 5 nanofarad with the full range boost of a 100 nanofarad. So let's just start with 5 nanofarad. You've got that on the input, and I've gone over how a capacitor reacts to a AC signal, but I'll just quickly touch it again. Basically, when a DC voltage, that's a flat voltage that doesn't change, hits a capacitor, it basically sees it as an open circuit, and when a high frequency hits a capacitor, it basically sees it as a short circuit. Lower value capacitors offer more resistance to lower frequencies, so bass frequencies, than larger value capacitors. It doesn't matter which configuration you have this in. Like I said, in the low high pass filter, the rule is the same. If you lower the value, you will cut more bass. So that explains why 5 nanofarad on the input cuts out so much of your guitar signal, whereas 100 nanofarad will let through majority of your guitar signal. So what we can do is, if you put in, this is on the input, so you've got your guitar input coming in over here, and you can use whatever values you want for these two capacitors, depending on how low you want to go and how high you want to go. So if you put in 100 nanofarad on the second capacitor on the input, and then basically just put a potentiometer in between these two, and basically you do that like this. The lug 1 is just connected directly to the 5 nanofarad capacitor. That's lug 2, so those two are shorted together. So you got, that's lug 1, that's lug 2, and down here is lug 3. And in order to actually understand how this works, I'll just zoom in a bit now because we've the schematic's got a bit small. So basically a good way to understand this is if you put in a, this is the mechanical sort of operation of how a potentiometer works. Basically you've got the wiper over here, so at the moment it's basically offering, it's a 100k pot, it's offering 100k of resistance to the 100 nanofarad capacitor down the bottom. It's offering no resistance to the 5 nanofarad capacitor at the top. So the 5 nanofarad capacitor is the path of least resistance, so the output will be trebly. I'll just put that up the top here so we remember which is which. That's treble, that's bass, relatively speaking. And basically as you turn this wiper, as you turn the potentiometer wiper, the resistance between the two changes. You start adding resistance to the 5 nanofarad capacitor, making that no longer the path of least resistance, and this 100 nanofarad capacitor starts to become an option for the signal to go through. So if we just take the other extreme end and turn the pot the full way down, now there's 100 nanofarad, now you've got something that looks like this. Basically that 100k resistor is no longer in it. It's been shorted out. So when your signal comes in on the input, it sees 5 nanofarad at the top and 100 nanofarad down the bottom. 100 nanofarad offers less resistance, so your guitar signal chooses to go this way. There is zero resistance up to this 5 nanofarad capacitor, but as I said, the 5 nanofarad capacitor offers more resistance than the 100 nanofarad capacitor, so it chooses the 100 nanofarad capacitor to go through. So that's how when you turn the tone control across, when you turn it fully up to bass, that's what's happening. It's just basically choosing to go through the 100 nanofarad capacitor instead of the 5 nanofarad capacitor. I say choosing to go through because I just want to make it clear that this resistor is shorted out. It's basically like it's not even in the circuit now once you've turned it fully up. So it actually only kind of functions, I guess you'd say, when it's turned fully back to treble, to the treble setting. So also just remember that you've got to put the same capacitance on the output as you have maximum on the output as you have on the input. If that was 5 nanofarad, when your signal comes through, it's just going to hit the 5 nanofarad on the output and squeeze it again. So this 100 nanofarad is basically not going to have any effect on the tone. So yeah, any coupling capacitors in between stages as well, you have to have them as the same as the maximum on the input. So if you watch my channel, you know that a lot of this stuff is just things that I've learned or things that I'm currently learning, and this is just something that I'm actually currently learning. I've never even looked into tone controls before, but this was a good one to start with because it's pretty straightforward to understand. And this is a Rangemaster with a tone control, and I had a problem with the tone control, and it sort of when you hit problems in electronics, it forces you to understand how the thing works in order to fix the problem. So yeah, I learned a lot from it, and hopefully I've explained it clearly enough so that you've learnt from it too. So I'll show you how this tone control works now. I'll plug it up to the guitar amp. Just one other note too about this Rangemaster. This was the revision 1 of the Tone Master PCBs I've got on my web store, and as I said before, the problem that I had was that the bass was on the left and tone was on the right, and I didn't want it to have that because it's a bit crappy. I wanted it to work properly, so that's what I was saying about learning how it works. So this one, the tone is actually on the the treble is actually on the left and the bass is on the right. But the ones that are on my web store don't have that issue. The bass is on the right, the way it should be. I'm not going to mic this one up because it's just a quick demo, but yeah, one other note too, I put 10 nanofarad on the input, so it doesn't get quite as ice picky as Rangemasters do, but it still gets pretty trebly. So this one's the volume and this one's the tone. At the moment it's on treble. As I said, treble's on the right on this particular one, but not on the PCBs on my website. So that's the most treble that you'll get. My guitar's a bit out of tune, sorry about that, but it'll serve the purpose. Turn it to the right, much more bass. A ridiculous amount of bass actually. I used 200 nanofarad for the second capacitor, but I think that's probably overkill. I reckon you could probably get away with just 100 nanofarad with this particular circuit anyway. So that's it for this video. Hope you learnt something from it. I know I did. As I said, that's why I always keep coming back to electronics. It's good to learn all this stuff, and once you've learnt how it works on one pedal or build that you're doing, you can implement it into other guitar pedals and you know, increase their sort of functionality as well. So yeah, it's lots of fun. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more do-it-yourself guitar pedal tutorials, demos. Give me a thumbs up too if you like the video. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks for watching.